It's been over 3 decades since Coroner released their last studio album. Grin came out way back in 1993. And for a long time, it felt like that was going to be the end of one of the most innovative bands to ever come out of the thrash metal scene. But in 2025, they finally returned with Dissonance Theory. And let me tell you, it's not just a comeback. It's one of the smartest, sharpest, and most forward-thinking metal albums of this year. It's not nostalgia, it's not a throwback. Dissonance Theory is Coroner, proving they can still outthink, outplay, and outclass most modern metal bands. Even after 30 years of silence, they're back. Let's get into it. Coroner were never your typical thrash band. Even back in the late 80s when everyone else was chasing speed and aggression, these guys were mixing in elements of prog, jazz, and even classical music. Albums like No More Color and Mental Vortex showed they weren't just playing fast, they were building something intelligent and complex, something that demanded repeat listens. And that tradition continues here. Dissonance Theory takes some of that cerebral approach, but updates it for the modern age. It's a record that feels as though it's been meticulously engineered, not overproduced, not robotic, but it's built with this scientific precision. After a short instrumental called Oxymoron, the opening track is called Consequence. This sets the tone right away. It's about the pitfalls of artificial intelligence and the madness of modern progress. A perfect theme for a band that's always written about human conflict and technology. Musically, it's a thunderous, ever-shifting piece. The verses hit hard with galloping thrash riffs, while the chorus feels unexpectedly catchy. Then you get these moody, reflective passages that somehow fit perfectly between the chaos. It's complex, but never feels like it's trying too hard. And that's the key to this album. Dissonance Theory is incredibly smart, but it's never pretentious. Each song flows naturally, even though the structures are dense and unpredictable. The band moves through time signatures and tonal changes like it's second nature. One moment they're locked into a heavy groove, and the next they're bending space with this 5/8 time signature guitar riff that sounds completely organic. It's what I call a thrash metal from a higher consciousness. Tommy Vitterli's guitar work is simply brilliant here. His riffs are like engineered machines. Every note connects perfectly to the next one. He's still got that signature chunky, chromatic tone, but this time he adds new layers of warmth and depth. There's this overdrive effect he uses in certain sections that just launches the guitar forward, almost like it's taking off from the rest of the band. And when he solos, he's not just shredding, he's telling a story. Each solo feels like it's earned, and it's all emotional and calculated, and it all comes at you just at once. Then there's the rhythm section, and this might be the real backbone of this record. Diego Rapachetti's drumming is sublime, not just fast, but incredibly disciplined. He uses the entire kit, not just a double bass. Every hit feels intentional. His patterns are tight, perfectly aligned, and the way the drums are mixed is spot on. Not too loud, not too buried, just that right mix of where you can feel every punch. Then there's Ron Royce. His bass work is still as nimble and precise as ever, locking everything together with that gravelly vocal delivery that's only grown rougher with age. There's a real sense of grit and determination in his voice, like he's channeling all the years between Grin, and now with every lyric he's bringing it all back. His voice still sounds great. Lyrically, the album explores the idea of cognitive dissonance, the clash between belief and reality, perception and truth. It's a fitting theme for a world that feels increasingly chaotic and contradictory. Every song ties into that concept in some way, making the record feel cohesive from start to finish. And the flow is really incredible. It's dense and multi-layered, and it moves seamlessly. Each song feels different, yet they share this unified atmosphere. One of those rare albums where you could tell every second was really thought through. Every transition was placed exactly where it needed to be. Tracks like The Lost start off sounding fairly straightforward, then halfway through, the band flips everything on its head, turning it into this hyper-speed riff fest. Sounds like something Testament might have written in their prime. And speaking of Testament, I know they put out an album last week, and this one actually might be a little better. I hate to say it, but anyway, moving on. Another song I liked was called Symmetry. This brings in the heaviest tuning Coroner ever used. It's drop B. It gives it that crushing modern low end that somehow sounds classic. And then there's the closer, maybe one of my favorites, Prolonging. It's just stunning. It feels like a culmination of everything that's come before. And the thing I like the best is they have this like John Lord, Deep Purple, Hammond keyboard. And it just really sounds great. It's almost spiritual. It's triumphant. It's like the band closing a chapter but opening a new one at the same time. It's cathartic, and I found it to be very emotional and just a very big song. I really like that last song. What makes Dissonance Theory so impressive that it doesn't feel like a comeback record that's trying to relive the past. It feels like Coroner picking up where they left off, but with that 30 years never happening. That's how I explain it. They've taken the technicality of their old work, the experimentation of Grin, and mixed it with modern, punchy production that feels alive. The sound isn't sterile, it's not too clean, it's a little dirty, it's good in the right places, it's catchier, it's warm. And there are a lot of older thrash bands that are just trying to rehash the past, but Coroner, they sound fresher than most of the new bands that are out on the scene. And it's not a nostalgia act, it's the band reminding everyone that intelligence and aggression can coexist and that heavy music can still be art. So in conclusion, after 32 years, Dissonance Theory isn't just a return. Coroner is making a statement. It's an album that proves that their legacy wasn't a fluke and they still belong among the best musicians in metal today. Tommy Vertelli even said that this is the first Coroner album he's 100% happy with. And honestly, I can see why. It's progressive, it's heavy, it's meticulously crafted. One of the most rewarding listens of the year, whether you've been a fan since the late 80s or just discovering the band for the first time, Dissonance Theory is definitely worth your time, and it was worth the wait. It's not just a great comeback, it is a thrashterpiece. And my score will be 9 out of 10, possibly better than the Last Testament album, but that's all debatable. I need some time with both of those. So if you listen to this album today, let me know your thoughts in the comments. How does it compare to the other ones like No More Color or Mental Vortex or Grin or the other ones? And are you new to the band? And let me know all that in the comments. Let's start the conversation. I was speaking of Testament. I might as well stick it right there. New album review, Parabellum. You can see what I said about that one. And thanks for watching. Please give the video a like. Helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe. If you have not already, I do rock and metal reviews. I do rankings and classic album reviews and documentary style stuff. And I have another channel which you can find in the video description and all that good stuff, as well as merch and memberships, all that stuff. See you in the next one.